Chosen one, what I'm about to tell you will change the way you see wealth forever. This moment is not a coincidence. You were meant to hear this message. The financial struggles you have faced, the times you felt like you were barely getting by, the moments you wondered if you would ever have enough, all of that is about to change. God is about to shift your entire financial reality. You have been praying, waiting, working hard, and still it has felt like breakthrough was just out of reach. But let me tell you something. You are not just anybody. You are chosen. And that means lack and scarcity are not your portion. You were never meant to live in financial struggle. You were created for abundance, for overflow, for divine provision. The enemy has tried to convince you otherwise. He has whispered lies, telling you that you are not meant for wealth, that money is hard to come by, that success is for others, but not for you. But those lies are being destroyed right now, because the truth is, God wants you to be prosperous. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That promise includes your finances. That promise includes your dreams. That promise includes a life where you do not just survive, but thrive. The days of just scraping by are over. The shift is happening now. You will no longer have to wonder where your next dollar is coming from. You will no longer have to stress over bills or fear financial instability. What God is about to do in your life will be undeniable. This is not just about getting a new job or receiving a financial blessing. This is about stepping into a new identity, one where you fully embrace that you are not meant to live in struggle. You are meant to live in divine abundance. But here is what you must understand. Wealth does not just come from working harder. Money does not just flow to those who hustle the most. True financial prosperity is spiritual. It is about alignment. It is about faith. It is about stepping into the divine flow where wealth is no longer something you chase. It is something that chases you. This is what happens when a chosen one realizes their power. Have you noticed that when you are aligned with God's purpose, doors open effortlessly? Have you seen how things fall into place when you trust instead of worry? That is because money is energy. Wealth is a spiritual force. And when you are connected to the divine, when you operate in full faith, abundance flows to you. This is why you must remove every limiting belief that has been keeping you in financial bondage. Every thought that tells you that you will always struggle. Every fear that says wealth is not for you. Every lie that has convinced you that money is evil. The truth is, money in the hands of a chosen one is a tool for the kingdom. You are not meant to just have enough for yourself. You are meant to have more than enough, so that you can bless others, fund missions, build communities, and create opportunities. This is what God is calling you into. The shift has already begun. And as you align yourself with this truth, as you step into this new mindset, as you open your heart to receive what God has for you, you will see changes happen faster than you ever imagined. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. Doors will open effortlessly. Financial blessings will come in unexpected ways because you are no longer operating from a place of need. You are operating from a place of divine authority. This is your time. This is your moment. This is the beginning of a life of abundance that will never run dry. You have been conditioned to believe that financial struggle is normal, that working endlessly with little reward is just a part of life, that money is hard to come by, that success is only for a select few, that wealth is something you must fight for. But none of that is true. These are lies that have been fed to you by a world that profits from keeping people in survival mode, a world that thrives on limiting beliefs and scarcity mindsets. But today that ends. Today you step into a new reality. Scarcity is a mindset. Poverty is a belief system. And those who break free from these illusions are the ones who walk in divine abundance. This is why some people can have little yet feel rich, while others have millions and still live in fear of losing it. Wealth is not about numbers in a bank account. It is about alignment. It is about knowing that everything you need is already flowing toward you. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Do you see the key? Provision follows alignment. When you align yourself with the divine, when you live in a state of faith instead of fear, abundance naturally follows. You do not have to beg for it. You do not have to chase it. You simply receive. The enemy does not want you to know this. He wants you to believe that you are powerless over your finances, that wealth is only for those born into privilege, that financial success is a matter of luck. But the truth is, you are a creator. You have the power to manifest the resources you need. The same way God spoke the universe into existence, you have been given the power to speak over your own life. What are you saying about your finances? Are you speaking life, or are you reinforcing lack? Are you declaring abundance, or are you constantly worrying about not having enough? Words create, thoughts create, energy attracts. If you continue to operate from a mindset of lack, you will always struggle. You will always find yourself in situations where money is slipping through your fingers, because scarcity attracts more scarcity. Fear attracts more fear. Desperation repels wealth. But the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you begin to truly believe that you are meant for more, everything changes. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." If you see yourself as someone who barely gets by, that is the life you will experience. But if you see yourself as someone who is already wealthy, already successful, already overflowing with divine provision, your reality will shift to match that belief. This is why some people seem to attract money effortlessly. It is not luck, it is not coincidence, it is alignment. They expect abundance, so it flows to them. They do not fear money, so it stays with them. They do not chase wealth, so it naturally comes their way. You have the same power. But you must break the cycle of fear. You must stop believing the lie that money is evil. You must release the thought patterns that have kept you in financial bondage. The enemy knows that a chosen one with financial freedom is unstoppable. That is why he works so hard to keep you struggling, because he knows that when you have more than enough, you will use it to uplift others. You will build, you will give, you will create, you will use your resources to bring light to the world. This is why financial prosperity is part of your divine assignment. It is not just about you. It is about breaking generational curses. It is about ensuring that those who come after you do not have to fight the same battles. It is about stepping into a level of freedom where money is no longer a source of stress, but a tool for impact. You must begin to see yourself differently. You must carry yourself as someone who is already in possession of great wealth, not because of what is in your hands right now, but because of what has already been set in motion in the spiritual realm. The shift has already begun. The doors are already opening. The opportunities are already making their way to you. Your only job is to align with it, to walk in faith, to operate in certainty, to act as if the promise has already been fulfilled. Because the moment you do, the floodgates of abundance will open, and you will never experience lack again. The mindset of abundance, becoming a magnet for wealth. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. The world has taught you to chase money, to work tirelessly, to strive endlessly. But that is not how divine abundance works. Wealth is not something you run after. It is something that flows to you when you step into alignment with who you were created to be. The reason so many people struggle is not because money is hard to get. It is because they are operating from a place of lack, of fear, of uncertainty. They wake up every day worrying about bills, stressing about expenses, focusing on everything they do not have. And in doing so, they attract more of the same. Because what you focus on expands. You must start seeing yourself as someone who already has everything they need, not someone who is desperate for money, not someone who is constantly in survival mode, but someone who is financially secure, successful, overflowing with wealth. The shift happens first in your mind, then in your reality. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." The pattern of this world tells you that you must struggle, that you must work yourself to exhaustion, that you must settle for a life of barely getting by. But that is not God's plan for you. His plan is abundance, overflow, limitless provision. The enemy wants you to stay blind to this truth. He wants to keep you trapped in old belief systems that limit your ability to receive what is already yours. He wants you to believe that wealth is only for a select few. But that is a lie. Prosperity is not reserved for the lucky. It is a spiritual law that works for anyone who understands it. The first step is to stop speaking lack over your life. Stop saying, "I can't afford this." Stop saying, "Money is hard to make." Stop saying, "I'll always be broke." These words are spells, declarations, affirmations that shape your reality. Instead, start speaking abundance. Start saying, "Wealth flows to me easily." Start saying, "I am a magnet for financial blessings." Start saying, "Everything I need comes to me effortlessly." This is not wishful thinking. This is alignment. This is faith in action. This is stepping into the divine truth that you were never meant to live in struggle. The next step is to move like someone who is already blessed. How would you carry yourself if you knew that financial abundance was guaranteed? Would you walk with confidence? Would you wake up with excitement instead of stress? Would you take action without fear? That is exactly what you must do, because faith is not just belief. Faith is action. James 2:26 says, "Faith without works is dead." That means you cannot just think differently. You must act differently. Wealth is not just about expecting money to appear. It is about positioning yourself for it. It is about being ready to receive when opportunities come. Are you prepared for the success you are asking for? Do you have a vision for what you will do with your wealth? Are you disciplined enough to handle financial blessings when they come? This is where many chosen ones miss their breakthrough. They pray for abundance, but are not ready to manage it. They ask for increase, but still operate with a scarcity mindset. They want financial freedom, but still make decisions based on fear. If you want to see real change, you must become the type of person who can handle abundance. That means developing financial wisdom, learning how to manage resources, staying disciplined and walking in confidence instead of desperation. The reason some people struggle financially is not because they do not have opportunities. It is because they are not aligned with the frequency of abundance. They repel wealth with their fear, their doubt, their energy of desperation. But you will not be one of them. You are stepping into a new level now. The days of fear are over. The days of struggle are behind you. From this moment forward, you are walking as someone who is already financially blessed, someone who is already wealthy. someone who is already positioned for success. And because of that, abundance will flow to you in ways you never imagined, walking in overflow. A life of wealth without limits. This is your moment. The shift has already happened. You are no longer the person who operates from fear, from lack, from struggle. That version of you is gone. The old mindset has been left behind. The days of worrying about money, of stressing over bills, of feeling like abundance was always out of reach. Those days are over. You have stepped into divine alignment, and now wealth flows to you effortlessly. You do not chase money. You do not beg for blessings. You do not live in a cycle of endless hard work with little reward. Because you now understand something most people never will. Prosperity is your birthright. You are connected to the ultimate source of all provision. You do not depend on the economy, on a paycheck, on anyone else to provide for you. Your wealth is not man-made. It is divinely ordained. Psalm 23:1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing." Do you hear that? You lack nothing, not in the future, not someday, right now. The moment you align yourself with this truth, everything changes. The opportunities, the resources, the financial blessings, they are already making their way to you. But here is what you must remember. Wealth is not just about you. It is not just about having more money in your account, about buying what you want, about living in comfort. That is only the beginning. The real purpose of divine prosperity is impact. When you step into overflow, you become a vessel for blessings. You are not just financially free for yourself. You are free so you can help others, so you can give without fear, so you can invest in things that matter, so you can create opportunities for people who are still struggling. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. He did not want you to reach this level. He knew that once you walked in financial power, you would change lives, that you would break generational curses, that you would fund missions, support dreams, build communities, that you would no longer be limited by survival, but would be fully free to walk in your true calling. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." You were not meant to just receive blessings. You were meant to create them. Wealth is not just something you accumulate. It is something you multiply, something you use to bring light to the world. Now, you move differently. You make decisions from a place of power, not fear. You no longer operate from scarcity because you know that abundance is always flowing to you. You are no longer controlled by money because you understand that you control it. The road ahead is clear. The path is open. And from this moment forward, you will never again feel needy for money, because you no longer see yourself as someone who lacks. You see yourself as someone who overflows, as someone who is always provided for, as someone who never has to question whether or not God will come through, because He already has. This is not just a new season. This is a new identity. You are walking in financial freedom, in limitless abundance, in unshakable prosperity. Nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. Nothing can take away what is already yours. You are wealthy, you are blessed, you are unstoppable, and the life of overflow you have stepped into will never run dry.